All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lightforce podcast, episode number 15. I am Noah. This is Laney, as always. How are we?
Fantastic. Cool shirt. Oh.
Funny you said that. My granny calls. She said, Travis, you were too hot.
Audio only. He's wearing a Fantastic Four First Step shirt. Today's a great day. I had to work a little bit, but it's not even that bad. And it didn't last that long, so it's okay. It's Parker's birthday. He's Unk. He's Unk status. He's 26 today. Crazy. He's super old. We see the fit, Noah. It's okay.
Well, you said fantastic and something.
I know. That was forever ago.
I was just vibing. Sorry.
But yeah, Puku is super old today. I'm sorry, that's what I call him. That's a bad habit. He's super old today, so we're gonna have fun later at dinner and stuff. But yeah, Count Puku is 26 today, but that's all I got. I mean, I'm chilling.
Yeah, I'm chilling as well. Yeah, I just like this shirt, man. Sorry, I was just vibing. I got it at the World of Disney at Disney Springs a couple of weeks ago. It's real comfy. I like it, dude. Just saying. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I have an Obi-Wan Kenobi, an episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi shirt on today. I'm pretty sure it's from Hot Topic. I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty sick. We love episode 1 Obi-Wan. We've got a young apprentice Obi-Wan, Padawan Obi-Wan. That's what I should say.
It looks like box lunch to me.
It could be. It could be, but I don't know.
It's definitely that one of those.
I've had it for
stores.
a very long time. Yeah.
Definitely one of those stores based off that design. But anyways, guys, before we get into this week's episode, be sure to go follow the Lightforce podcast on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads. If you're watching here on YouTube, be sure to drop a like and hit subscribe. And of course, if you want to listen to the podcast, we're on Apple and Spotify as well. And the Discord. We completely forgot to plug the Discord last week.
We love the Discord. You're right.
Yeah,
totally
so if you're watching here on YouTube, the Discord, if you wanted to join the Lightforce podcast Discord, is linked down below in the description. And if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, just head over to any of our social medias. You'll find the Discord link somewhere in all the stuff. But anyways, we got a couple of things to talk about this week. It wasn't like a super noteworthy week, but a couple of one trailer dropped. One was like a mini trailer, and then there's a couple of just news things. But I guess we could start with the trailer that dropped yesterday, the day we're recording this. I believe it dropped yesterday as well.
Literally yesterday.
And we've talked about this movie before. I've still not even seen the first one, which I will see it. I've been busy, dude. I've been rewatching.
I'm pretty sure it's free to watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime at the moment. So
it probably is, but I've been watching
no
other
reason
stuff.
Why you shouldn't.
I've been rewatching Stranger Things. I finished the first season, and I'm halfway through done. Season 2.
He's cooking. You don't
I've
have
been
a lot
watching
of time.
Daredevil. I'm gonna finish it.
Okay.
I've been busy. I'm busy watching other stuff, but I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
But anyways, the Super Mario Galaxy trailer dropped yesterday, the day we're filming this. As we mentioned, this is obviously a sequel to the Super Mario movie, I believe it was just called.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll have more to talk about here than I did, but I did watch the trailer. I thought it was cool, and I thought everything that I've seen for the first movie was cool. I just still haven't seen the first movie, so I can only talk about it so much.
Yeah. Which means you can't talk about it at all, but that's okay. I'll talk about it, you guys. The Super Mario Galaxy trailer honestly looked amazing. The first movie was amazing, so I have no doubt that this next movie is going to be amazing. I think the thing that surprised me the most was that they were going with Super Mario Galaxy 2 and not just, the Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 or whatever. But I was surprised that they jumped directly to Super Mario Galaxy, but I am very excited about it. I have no issues with it. There's nothing like hearing that like that theme just hits so hard. Super Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite Mario games. One of the only ones that I've actually played all the way through for the most part, at least. And we saw a lot of things in the trailer. We got Bowser Jr. We got Rosalina. We got a lot more of the Lumi stars. Brie Larson is voicing. Brie Larson is voicing Rosalina, which is super cool. I think that's a great pick, a great casting. I think she's going to do an amazing job. Just in the little snippet we got of her speaking to, I think she was reading a story about Princess Peach to the Lumies, and I think that's what they're called. I'm pretty positive that's what they're called. And
you know better than me.
I hope that's correct. And then the Loomies are like, we want to hear about the plumbers. And yeah, that little snippet, just what we got of her. And that was really, really good. The only thing I didn't love was Bowser Jr.'s voice. I think he
Who's
has.
doing
I
the?
don't know the
His
actor's
name's
name.
like Benny or something. I just know because he was like the director, producer, or something on the whatever the movie is that The Rock just did. He's like,
Oh,
and people are
Iron
joking
Claw?
like, what is this guy doing? Side quests or something like that? He does voiceover work too. His name's
Not
like
Iron
Benny
Claw. God,
something.
the
No, no,
Smashing
no.
Machine. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about?
Smashing
Smashing
Machine.
Machine. Yes, yes.
That director, producer, whatever he was on that movie is voicing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I heard it, and you can hear it in the trailer with the mask, and then there's another snippet of him without the mask that you can hear his
Mm-hmm.
actual speaking voice. And to me, it's just not. It's not light enough. He's supposed to be a kid, like a little kid. He literally wears like a mask that he made himself. He's a little kid, so I think that his voice is a little bit too deep.
Hey,
If that's
some
the worst part of the movie, that's okay. You know, I can live with that.
I'm
But
sure.
Bowser Jr. is one of
Yeah.
my favorite characters, so I kind of was like, ugh, I wish they didn't miss on that voice. But a lot of people doubted the voice acting work of other cast members in the first movie, including Chris Pratt as Mario.
That's where I
And
was going. Yeah.
yes, and for the most part, he delivered. So I'm going to give him a chance. We just saw like a 10-second clip. I'm not going to completely write it off. Just my initial reaction. I don't think it's high pitched enough.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. I like you brought up the Chris Pratt thing. That's where I was going. I'm sure there's still people mad about that. There was people mad about that when the first movie came out. Why is Mario not Italian enough or
Yeah.
whatever people are saying? So like it is what it is. Obviously, again, like I don't want to have some huge stance on it. One, because like I only played so many Mario games in my life, so it's not like I
As an
have this.
Italian man, you can have a huge stance on it. Come on. Represent.
Dude, no, I have never met anybody, or at least in my personal family, that has the deep Italian plumber voice that Mario has had in all these video games over the years. That's not Chris Pratt. But I mean, listen, dude, for the Mario games that I played back in the day, I love the franchise. I don't know all the lore.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch the initial movie eventually. Maybe I'll just watch it
Hopefully.
soon just to get it out of the way. No, I will.
Please.
I will. When's this one come out? June? July?
I don't know. I don't know if it said a month. If it did, I was not paying attention. But yeah.
April. Sorry, April.
April. Okay. That's sooner than I thought then. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to do really, really well. One big thing that is missing from the trailer is Yoshi. Yoshi's nowhere to be found again.
And you brought that up a while ago when we talked about this movie, that he wasn't even in the first one. And I'm like,
right.
That's an iconic character. Even I know that.
Right.
Where's this guy at?
A lot of people were very disappointed that Yoshi isn't in the first movie. The only thing you get with a bunch of other Yoshis, not the Yoshi, but a bunch of Yoshis were shown like running in a herd in one scene in the first Mario movie. And everyone thought that this next movie was going to center a lot more around Yoshi. And then here we are getting a trailer from this second Mario movie, and Yoshi is still nowhere to be found. And clearly they had no issue with teasing, you're giving away major characters that are being put in this movie, like Rosalina and Bowser Jr. So it's honestly surprising. Like, if Yoshi is in this movie, you'd think he'd be advertised in the trailer. If they're saving up for a big reveal, that's great. I'm okay with that. But I don't think that Yoshi is big
Yoshi.
It's Yoshi. You know what I mean? I feel like they should be advertising Yoshi being in this movie. And I'm kind of thinking he's not going to play a huge role in this movie, honestly.
I mean, like, yeah, I feel like even I know that Yoshi's more of just like one of those classic Mario characters. Like, is that much of a huge reveal if you don't advertise him? And it's like, oh, Yoshi's in this movie. It's like, well, cool, but
yeah,
I'm not shocked. Like, I don't know. That's just me.
It's just surprising that they're it makes sense. I like that they're using Bowser Jr. to kind of break out Bowser. That's the kind of plot that we got, is that Bowser Jr. is going to get revenge for his dad. He's going to break him free, and then they're going to be evil together, whatever. I like that they're doing that. I think that's a great idea.
Bowser
it's not
doing
just like
his paintings was hilarious.
Yeah, that was so funny. And it's not just like they're not going to run with a storyline like, oh, Bowser somehow escaped and all that jazz. I like that they're using Bowser Jr. It's smart for them to develop the storyline by bringing in new characters and not just running with the same old thing. But it's weird that Yoshi isn't in it. But Donkey Kong was a huge factor in the first movie. I only watched the trailer a couple times. I don't think he's featured in this trailer either. And I would find it hard to believe if they weren't bringing him back. I'm pretty sure it was already confirmed that Seth Rogen was reprising his role as Donkey Kong. So kind of with the Yoshi thing, Donkey Kong's not in the trailer. We know he's going to be in it. Maybe that's the same case for Yoshi. But I think it's weird because they know everyone wants Yoshi to be in this movie. Everyone was missing him in the first movie. So maybe, we'll get another trailer later on that will reveal him.
Yoshi of all characters, the final boss of this franchise. They're holding out on him. This guy's Thanos. Like, they're just going to keep teasing him. Teasing him. I mean, he's going to get a post-credit scene. It's like, hey, he's finally here.
Yeah, it'll be like Shadow and the Sonic 2.
Oh my goodness. It'll be like, out of everybody, you chose Yoshi. But yeah, so that comes out April 3rd, to be exact, 2026, Super Mario Galaxy movie. But you know what comes out June 19th? A movie that you're not looking forward to.
Oh no.
Toy Story 5 comes out June 19th.
Yay.
And wait, this wasn't really like a huge trailer. It was more like a teaser trailer that came out a couple of days ago. I don't know if you saw it. And there was a poster that came out too. It was literally just like a box getting delivered to the little girl's house. The toys are at now.
No,
What's
Bonnie.
Bonnie's house.
Yes.
And it's got like the lily pad in it. You know what I'm talking about. Because obviously, because obviously all the rumors for this movie have been the toys revolting against, technology. And literally the teaser trailer, it's on my screen right now, is just all the toys terrified about what's about to pop out of this box. And then the lily pad pops out. But I don't know. I mean, the trailer looks cool. I was a little confused watching it because... I only watched Toy Story 4 once in theaters, and didn't that movie end with Woody and Buzz going their separate ways?
Yes.
And then in this teaser, they're back in the same room side by side. So I'm like, what happened, dude?
And it's like I have not talked to anyone that enjoyed Toy Story 4 because it's just not good. The ending that we got with Toy Story 3 was perfect. Andy he was going to college, he gave them up, he gave them to a child where they're going to be able to start over and be played with and be happy. Then we get to Toy Story 4, and it's like Bonnie doesn't like playing with Woody. And it's like, dude, with Woody specifically, and it's like, dude, Andy almost didn't give Woody to Bonnie. And now it's like, well, why would you even have him give him to Bonnie? And he could have just gone off to college. Like,
and technically, Woody was there first before anybody else. He was there, then he left, and then when the toys went back.
She's the one that picked him up and was like, my cowboy. Like, she loved him. And now it's like, Bonnie doesn't like Woody and only Woody. And then Woody's like, well, I guess I am gonna have this identity crisis and go ahead and, I found Bo Peep again. And now Bo Peep and I are gonna run away in the circus and just be together forever. And I'm gonna leave the toys behind, who he has fought over and over and over again to keep their family together. Toy Story 3 should have been the end of it. I obviously don't like Toy Story 4, and it just bothers me that after Toy Story 4 came out and people were like, that wasn't very good, they're like, it would be great if we made another
Toy Story 5.
Come on.
I just don't understand. Like, even if you didn't like Toy Story 4, or maybe you did, or some people didn't, whatever the case is, there's still a continuity issue here. Because how are they back together? And I'm sure they're going to explain that. But still, they're just the first time you see them in this teaser trailer since that movie is they're the last toys you see, I believe.
Yeah, and it's like that
lily pad pops out. And they're just terrified next to each other.
And
make it make sense.
Happens. Yeah, when you just keep making sequel after sequel after sequel, you're going to start running into continuity issues. You're literally just retconning everything that happened in the movie beforehand, which is what happened with 4, and now it's happening with 5. It's like, oh, never mind. She wants Woody back, whatever. I don't even know what's going to happen. And obviously,
the movie's gonna start. It was all a dream. Woody just had a dream. That's what Toy Story 4 was.
I'm like, okay.
Like everybody says, Stranger Things is gonna be like. Obviously, I don't think this is actually gonna happen. But people have always joked that the end of Stranger Things, they're just gonna cut to them in the basement, and the whole thing was just one big D&D campaign.
That would be ridiculously awful.
I don't think that's good. I think that's just like a fun fan thing that people have talked about for years.
Yeah. They're like, can you imagine how terrible that would be? Yeah.
I mean, it would kind of be funny, but that's besides the point.
No,
no,
it would not be funny.
Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5, not excited about it. I will go see it because, like I've explained before, I am a Toy Story kid. That was my favorite movie to watch when I was a child. So I am going to go back, mostly because Tim Allen and what's his name?
Come
Say
on.
his name.
Tom.
Tom Hanks. Thank you. Tim and Tom are
It is Tom
reprising
Hanks,
their
right?
roles. Yeah, it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've been
Tom
over
Hanks
this. We did
and
this
Tim
before.
Allen, yes, are reprising their
Yeah.
roles. If they weren't reprising their roles, you would not see me in the seats. Like it's just
Yeah.
not going to happen because it's not Toy Story without them. I'm surprised that they even got them to come back for this movie. So the fact that they did, I'm like, okay, maybe the plot is good enough. It was good enough to bring them back, the script. So
I mean, I guess, or they're just
I'm going to give
bored.
it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not excited for it now.
I hear you. We're definitely listen. I'm gonna go see it too. I love Tim Allen. Love Tom Hanks. Love Tom Hanks in Christmas movies.
Not for me.
We'll talk about that next month.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, whatever. I like Polar Express. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's talking about Disney stuff. But technically, there's something that came out Disney related this week. But Disney's not actually making the movie, from what I understand. I think you saw this. There's an Alice in Wonderland musical on this way.
Oh.
Come on, I'm throwing the bait out here.
I saw it, yeah. And Sabrina Carpenter is starring in it.
Woo!
As Alice, I guess. Yeah, I don't think Disney writes
Universal
musicals.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Broadway musicals. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know anything about that. I just knew they have evidently aren't making this movie.
Yeah, that could be very wrong because there are many Disney movies that are on Broadway, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think that that necessarily means that it's a Disney production. But I could be obviously so wrong about that. I know nothing about theater. I'm sorry, guys. All my theater kids, I'm sorry. My Broadway junkies, just don't listen to me. I'm just yapping.
All my theater kids. I know a lot of theater kids watch this podcast.
I'm really sorry.
Sabrina Carpenter starring and producing in an Alice in Wonderland musical movie done by Universal, dude. I mean, it sounds like a W to me, dude. I actually already bought my tickets. I just had
I actually didn't know that it was a movie. I thought it was a Broadway production. That's the whole reason why I started yapping about that. So I guess that's just not true.
I just thought you meant they didn't make you didn't think Disney was going to make a musical movie
that's not what I meant at all.
Like a Greatest Showman type thing, or that's what I thought you meant. No, I got a little confused at first too, and then I read the article and it was just because it kept saying at Universal, and I'm like, they're not doing a musical at Universal. I
so weird.
So I kept people kept putting out different lingo, and I was like, I don't understand any of this. So I finally just went and read the article.
Owns Alice in Wonderland. That's very strange. But
well, I know at some point some things go up to public domain or whatever.
That's true.
Like Disney does Winnie the Pooh stuff, but then there was that Winnie the Pooh horror movie that somebody made,
what is that? Bro?
So I think eventually something gets opened up to the public. So maybe this is that case. I don't know.
You're
but
so right.
No, I think this is just Universal is the one making this movie, and I think it was Sabrina Carpenter's idea, and she went to I think I might have saw something that said she brought it to Disney years ago. Maybe it didn't work out, I don't know, but I'm pretty excited for it, dude. Sabrina back in an acting role, and it's going to be in theaters. Alice in Wonderland's a great movie, dude.
It is a great movie. I actually was obsessed with Alice in Wonderland when I was younger. I loved everything about it. Mostly not necessarily cartoon because that was creepy. Mostly when the live action one started coming out with Johnny Depp, that's when I was really into Alice in Wonderland. I loved those live action movies, especially Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter. And I loved it at the time. So I am very excited about it. I'm not necessarily someone that loves musicals. But it's Sabrina Carpenter, so obviously I'm going to go see it. I love her.
Completely different stage
totally
now that's been set.
Yeah. You guys... or some people, we might lose some fans here, some listeners here when I say this. I have never seen Wicked, and I don't plan on ever seeing Wicked. I understand that it's this big, fantastic thing.
Phenomenal.
But you guys, I cannot handle people breaking into song every 10 minutes. I can't do it. It makes me cringe. I can't do it. And it bothers me. It's so irritating. I just want to further the plot. You guys, stop singing. Yeah.
I'm not really a big musical guy either. It never bothered me in Disney movies as a kid.
Right.
I don't care when I'm watching Aladdin.
The whole time. They have 3 songs maybe, but
I hear you. And honestly, there's not much to talk. This is brand new news this week. There's literally nothing else to talk about besides the fact that she's going to star in and produce this movie. I'm hyped. Obviously, we've talked about it before. We're both big Sabrina people around here, and obviously, we'll both go see a movie for the sake of this podcast at this point. So this is literally brand new news. Who even knows when this is coming out? It's probably 2027, 2028. Probably going to be a while till we see this, but
yeah,
I'm excited for it. I'll go see it.
You know what else you should be excited for? Tate McRae's releasing a deluxe version of her "So Close to What" album on like November 21st or something. We're gonna get more Tate, dude.
I did not see that. Tit for tat, dude. It's a great song.
Great song.
I'm a big Tate guy. We've established this before. I'm a big Tate guy. Not as big of. I'm more of a Sabrina guy. Nobody's knocking her off the mantle. But I like Tate McRae.
We love him.
I'm excited. Moving on from there, a lot of the news this week is kind of like brand new stuff, so there's not a lot to like dive into with each little bit of news, but I did want to talk about this. Jumping to some Marvel stuff, which is obviously like the main thing we talk about on the podcast for the most part. The Russo Brothers, I don't know where this came from. I think Cosmic Circus, maybe, which is some website reporter, all that, whatever you want to talk about. Russo Brothers are expected to continue working with Marvel Studios after Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars in terms of overseeing the next saga. Reason I wanted to bring that up is because there's been a lot of talk about the next saga being mutant heavy. And I'm not expecting the Russos to be the ones, writing and producing and directing for the entirety of the next saga, or at least like the main movies. But in terms of overseeing the next saga, that does get me pretty excited because I think both of us are in the camp where once we get through Secret Wars and once we get through, once we get started, I should say, with this mutant saga, I think we both want to see it done pretty well. We don't want to see any Marvel fumbles. So having two guys who have done a lot of good in Marvel help oversee that, I know I'm, personally excited for it. So I thought it would be worth bringing up.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting to hear because, it's the same situation as James Gunn in DC. It's like, although he's not necessarily going to be directing every single project that comes out of this new DC universe, he's still going to be overseeing every project. And that helps with continuity. It helps knowing that someone is there to let whoever is directing or whoever is producing these movies, like, we got to stick with this. Remember that this happened. It keeps everything flowing the way that it should be. We don't run into any issues the way we did with the sequel trilogy, infamously with Star Wars. I hate to always use that as the example, but it's the perfect example.
It's like the prime example for too many hands in a cookie jar.
And it's like, what would Marvel be if Kevin Feige hadn't been overseeing every single production this whole time? It's the same kind of thing. So it's nice knowing that not only we're going to have Kevin Feige, we're going to also have the Russo brothers who have done very, very well with every project that they've been given. So very exciting to hear that. That's great news.
I know. And obviously we still got a long ways to go. We have an entire year until Doomsday. Secret Wars, there's been rumors this week, is going to start filming next summer, and then that doesn't come out till 2027. So we still got a while to go.
Wow, I really thought they were filming it literally back to back. So that's...
I guess so. Like if you think about it, if they start filming the summer of 2026, they'll wrap up probably beginning of 2027, then they'll have all year to get it done. This is also presuming Secret Wars doesn't get pushed back, which at the moment it hasn't, from that December 2027 slot. So hopefully they still land that. But yeah, the Russos obviously have come back and they've been hugely influential in Doomsday and Secret Wars of what we're going to be getting out of these movies. So for them to be at least sticking around in a sense where they're, like you said, talking about continuity and making sure everything flows from a storyline perspective, I think that is exciting, is giving me, you, and probably a lot of other fans hope that the next saga after we get through Secret Wars, whatever's left, whoever is left, superhero-wise, mutants, whatever's going to be going on with probably a pretty brand new MCU, having some familiar faces helping lead us into that, I think is going to be super helpful, and definitely makes me look forward to what's going to happen after Secret Wars, even though I was already kind of looking forward to what was going to happen after Secret Wars. So there's so many questions on who's going to be still around, who's going to be surviving, who's not going to make it through these next two Avengers movies. So the faces of Marvel are probably going to look much different in the next few years. So Russo is helping out with that. I'm pretty excited about that. Gotta say. But speaking of Doomsday, I wanted to bring.
Happens every
Doomsday
time.
just occurred, actually.
I'm gone.
Speaking of Doomsday, this is super brief. I just wanted to get your reaction to this because I'm sure maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't. But obviously, last week we talked about the Doomsday trailer. There's rumors that it's going to be airing for the first time during Avatar: Fire and Ash, which comes out next month. Both of us are not necessarily fans of the Avatar franchise. We don't dislike it. I've seen the first movie. I don't think you've seen either.
I haven't seen any of them, so I really don't know how I feel about them.
So we're completely indifferent to this franchise. Got no problems with it, no quarrels with it. But
Right.
the only reason we'd be interested in going to see Fire and Ash is literally to see the Doomsday trailer. And that's still on the table. But I will say there's a rumor floating around this week that Avatar: Fire and Ash has been listed as at a runtime of 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I just wanted to say, are we actually willing to go see a 3 hour and 15 minute movie
Holy
just
frick.
to see a 90-second to 2-minute Doomsday trailer?
You guys.
That's longer than Endgame, bro.
It's James Cameron that directs these movies, right? That's his
You're
name.
asking the wrong guy.
I know. Do a quick look up while I ramble.
Okay.
I understand that these movies are I don't even know. I know that they're unbelievably made. They're just something so special and something that had never
James
been
Cameron.
done before. James Cameron, thank God. So the first movie was really like the first of its kind, and it did a lot for the genre and for film. Honestly, I understand all of that. Amazing, groundbreaking stuff. Great. I do not want to watch blue people fight each other for 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Why does it matter that they're blue? Nightcrawler's blue. He's right behind you.
It's so different, bro. That's a superhero. We are talking about mostly naked blue alien people just having...
Well, if you're invested into the story, you wouldn't care. It's not like they look weird. I don't think they
mostly
look weird.
for like the reason I have not watched it is because I'm like, I don't want to see all that. Like I don't. I
See all what?
It's weird. It's weird. I don't like the way that they look. I don't
Really?
like it. Yes.
You never stated that. I don't think they ever looked weird. Now I'm looking at pictures that after I looked up Avatar: Fire and Ash. I don't think they've ever looked weird to me.
They sure do though. They do look weird.
They just look like freaking alien creatures on some planet that is made up.
And
like
I
any
just
other
don't
movie.
necessarily want to see that. But I mean,
3 hours and 15 minutes is crazy.
That's insane. What are the runtimes of the other movies?
Oh, I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up.
All right, look that up too. Like, is this a normal thing or?
Avatar. When did this first movie come out? 2009?
2000. I'm just kidding. There's no chance. I have no idea. Yeah, you guys, I will watch
the first
these
movie is
movies.
2 hours and 42 minutes, so.
Okay, so it's kind of normal. I will watch these movies for the sake of
The other one's 3 hours and 12 minutes, dude. What is this? All right, so this is on brand for the Avatar franchise.
This is only news to us. So, yeah, I will watch these movies for the sake of the podcast. But you guys, if I watch that first movie and I'm like, nah, I can't. There's no chance I will watch Way of Water, and there's no chance I will watch Fire and Ash now.
Not even for the Doomsday trailer.
I will buy a ticket to see the Doomsday trailer, and I will walk my happy butt right back out of that theater.
Dude, people keep talking about how there's gonna be this like this just like insane lineup of trailers for Avatar: Fire and Ash. They're like, oh, we might get Doomsday, Spider-Man, Supergirl, this Disney movie, this Pixar movie. I'm like, this seems all way too good to be true. I feel like no way we're getting all these in one
I'm going to
movie.
need to hear someone else say it first, but I just realized my workaround for this so that I'm not paying $20 to go see a movie that I'm not going to watch. There is a drive-in theater near me, and they charge $6 per person to see these freaking movies. Awesome drive-in.
Are you sure you get the same trailers though?
No, I'm not sure. But I would much rather risk it for the I would rather lose out on $6, and I wouldn't go by myself. So I'd rather lose out on $12 than $40.
Yeah, right. But if they don't play the trailer, then you're still gonna end up watching the movie anyway?
Then I lose out on $12, and thank God I didn't go spend the $40.
So you're saying you would lose out on $12, but you would just leave?
Yeah.
And not watch the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch the movie. Maybe it's gonna depend on if I end up
And
watching these first two
it's not
or
about attention span. I'm sorry. It's not about attention span, you guys. I could have watched 3 hours of Superman or Fantastic Four. Avatar, it has never been my thing. It's never been, I don't even know what kind of genre you would say that it is. If it's fantasy, if it's sci-fi, I have no freaking idea. But it's never been something I've been interested in at all. So for me to sit through 3 hours of something that I'm not interested in is an insane ask. That brings me back to the Batman. Sorry, you guys, but
goodness.
at least I'm consistent. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
care about Batman. I don't want to watch 3 hours. Batman, I don't care about these blue people. I don't want to watch 3 hours of it. Like you guys. But I will watch it for the sake of the podcast. Because we do need to watch it. So it's not like we're walking out of that theater, right?
So we've come to the conclusion, as we're recording this, that even though we might not want to, even though it's long, over the next month, because we literally have a month, we're both going to watch Avatar from 2009, Way of the Water, or whatever the hell it's called. And then we're going to go see Fire and Ash.
I guess so. No,
there you go, guys. There you go. Listen, and we can listen. If we don't like it, we can be honest. We'll tell the people we don't like it, and we'll say everything we don't like about it.
Let us know if any of you are fans of the Avatar series. What's it called?
Avatar franchise.
Franchise. That's what I was looking for. If you guys are fans of the Avatar franchise, I haven't heard anyone that comments on my content or anyone in my stream chat talk about it. Actually, that's such a lie. I think a couple people have said they're excited for Fire and Ash, but just let us know. I want to know what you guys feel about it, because I want to know if we're the only ones that feel this way.
I feel like a little intrigued. We've talked about it before. I love Pandora at Endor.
Endor. In Animal Kingdom.
That?
Animal Kingdom.
Why did I say Endor? What was in my head?
You have Star Wars deeply rooted into your brain.
Yeah, at Animal Kingdom. And Flight of Passage, dude, phenomenal ride. Like, wish I could ride it right now. I don't know if it's thrilling enough for you, but
not really.
Yeah,
stick me in front of a giant screen. Yeah, it's freaking fantastic.
She's such a buzzkill, dude. Like,
I know.
God forbid.
It is pretty cool. I liked it when I rode it the first time, but I would never wait in a significant line to ride that ride again. No way.
I don't know, I haven't been to Animal Kingdom in 4 years, and I've been to Disney twice since then.
You just sit on it
looks cool, and it gives you a nice, like, it's an immersive experience. Not everything needs to be we're going upside down 3 times
at
100 miles an hour.
The freaking thing you're sitting on goes, ooh, like you move like a couple inches back and forth. Like, come on. I can't.
What an adrenaline junkie over here.
That's
like, what is going on?
If I get on a ride and I'm waiting hours to get on this ride, it better thrill me.
Dude, we went on, what did we go on? Not Transformers. Men in Black at Universal. The whole time she's like, this ride sucks.
That is so not true. You gotta be thinking of some other girl. Because there is no way
nobody
did
else.
Not say that about that.
In the queue. You were like, this queue sucks. And honestly, I even will say that because the lady was supposed to unlock the thing and she was late.
Yes. It's the beginning of the line. If anyone that's been to Universal, you will know. I did not say the ride sucks, because it doesn't. I like the shooting interactive games, like Buzz Lightyear. That's how Men in Black is, if some of you haven't been there to Universal.
She definitely trashed it a little bit, guys.
I trashed the beginning of the queue because we were at Halloween Horror Nights. We're not there for the whole display that they put on for this line. Like, normally at Horror Nights, they just let you walk right on in because there's like little to no line for this ride at this point. And the beginning of Men in Black, they stick you in this fake elevator and they literally just lock you in there, and it's not a real elevator. The freaking ground shakes.
How dare this thing be fake? How dare this
just
thing
open the doors
at this theme
and
park
just let
be
us
fake?
Walk right through, bro.
That's like going on Rise of the Resistance, and you're going through that one point.
Long. No, there was a 10-minute wait for this ride, but it took 20 minutes just for them to put on this display that nobody asked for, and then we walked right onto the ride. Like, just open it up. Open it up and let me go into the ride.
Open it up. No, she kept saying that. She's like, this fake elevator. I'm like, well, what do you want it to be a real? It's all fake. No, we're not going in there and shooting people.
It's like, oh, that's cool. It's actually taking us up to the ride. No, it's unnecessary at that point. It's not even an immersive experience at all. Open the door, let me get on the ride. I don't care.
Everything's gotta be, let's keep it going, adrenaline junkie over here.
Dude. That's not true. If it served any purpose, then I would say that that's fine. but we were waiting longer just to get in the elevator that isn't real than we did to actually wait in line for the ride. You can't even lie that it was getting ridiculous at that point.
I really don't think it was that long.
Okay.
I think I don't remember being 20 minutes.
Noah, we stood there waiting for the workers too. Like,
yeah, there was that one lady. You would never see that at Disney. That's what I kept saying. I was like,
waited outside for 15 minutes, and then the workers that were not doing what they were supposed to be doing left us in there after the little presentation. And we weren't even in the elevator yet.
That part is true. This worker was totally off schedule. That's when I turned to her. I was like, you would never see this at Disney. Because I ride till Disney World to the end. I don't care. But 20 minutes might be a stretch, dude. There's no way to go back and tell.
It's not. Because we waited for 15 minutes outside. And then we went into that we heard what's it called? I don't know. The little speech they give you before you go in. We listened to the speech and then stood there waiting for that girl to actually open the door. Then we had to go into the elevator and let it do its little thing, which does not take very long. But it's like, after we had waited all that time, I'm like, my brother, just open the door. I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't do it anymore. Yes, I am a chronically impatient person, but at that point, everyone was getting annoyed around us too. So
anyway, Avatar Fire and Ash, 3 hours and 15 minutes. So if chronically impatient.
It is an attention span issue.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you just said it. It's not as an attention span thing, and then went on to say, I'm a chronically impatient person. So,
yeah.
We're not watching the Batman. We're not watching Avatar Fire and Ash.
You did watch the Batman, though. And everyone that does like the Batman also says that it drags, but I don't want to talk about that movie right now.
Anyway, Avatar Fire and Ash. Honestly, maybe we'll talk about it next month. Maybe we won't. I have no idea. We're going to figure it out.
The plan is that we will.
The plan is that we will, but this podcast flies by the seat of its pants, so we'll see what happens 4 weeks from now. But that's all I have for news this week, but I'm going to transition over to you, because I think old Big Brain over there had some ideas this week.
My big old noggin.
Don't hurt yourself.
Listen, there's smoke coming out of my ears, I swear, when I was doing this. And it's not even like a groundbreaking thing. I was just like, it'd be fun. I don't want to spoil it. I don't have a name for this game or this segment at all. It's kind of like a what if scenario. And I'm going to break down 3 or 4 different what if scenarios. There's a Star Wars edition, there's a Marvel edition, and then there's a wrestling edition.
Oh boy.
You can only pick one scenario to run with, and that becomes true. The other 2 or 3 scenarios never get to happen. Like, we have to stick with what we got, okay?
So I'm following what you thought were the rules. The one gotta go last week, which was one gotta stay.
Right, one gotta stay.
One gotta stay. That's
never happened.
That's a working title for this game.
One gotta stay. I want you to stay. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
This is the Star Wars edition. Scenario number 1. The sequel trilogy that we got is completely rewritten. And it's directed and written by the same crew for all 3 movies, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. And it follows the storyline of George Lucas's original plans for the sequel trilogy, which includes that it takes place a few years after Return of the Jedi. Luke is in the process of rebuilding the Jedi Order. Darth Maul rises to power in the crime underworld with Darth Talon as his apprentice. So those are your main antagonists. Right. Leia works on rebuilding the Republic and defeating the crime lords and Maul. So Leia is really the main protagonist in the sequel trilogy that George Lucas originally planned for. So that's the first scenario. We get that instead of what we got. That's basically the name of this whole game. The second scenario, The Mandalorian Season 3 is completely rewritten with a storyline that includes retaking Mandalore. Our Mando helps Bo-Katan in her quest to retake Mandalore, while Grogu remains with Luke Skywalker. Book of Boba Fett never happens. He doesn't choose immediately to go back with Mando. Grogu, all during this season, stays with Luke. We do get a little bit of, we get to see some scenes of him training and stuff like that. But maybe in the last episode end credit scene, we see that Grogu decides to maybe go back or something like that, so that we can still have the Mandalorian Grogu movie. But for the most part, Mando on his own, helping them retake Mandalore. I don't really care what happens with the Darksaber at this point. Yeah. Jack Black, I specifically wrote this. Jack Black and Lizzo never appear.
Oh, that's enticing. That is real enticing.
And the vibes really feel like season 1 and 2. So that's scenario number 2.
I talked about before how that was the episode that angrily broke me, dude. I was so pissed off that night.
I know. So that's why I was like, oh, he's really going to like that one. But here's scenario number 3. This might be a sleeper.
Okay.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi show is completely rewritten. It focuses more on Obi-Wan's trauma, his time on Tatooine protecting Luke from threats that we are not aware of, that we hadn't even thought of before. It might not even necessarily be the Empire. And it also focused on his journey to reconnect with Qui-Gon, and then we follow how Qui-Gon teaches him to become a Force ghost, which is what we got in the very last scene, kind of, when Qui-Gon appeared. But in this, we'd actually get to see Qui-Gon training Obi-Wan to do this.
Yeah.
There are no Inquisitors, and there is no rematch with Darth Vader to save the continuity with the original trilogy, because the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, for lack of better words, shits all over the continuity of the original trilogy, and that's my main gripe with it. Like, it does not make sense. I love the duel between Obi-Wan and Vader in the Kenobi show, but it doesn't make any freaking sense that they have a rematch before the original trilogy, in my mind. Another big thing is, in this scenario, Obi-Wan never meets a young Princess Leia. That is the worst part of the continuity issue with the Kenobi show for me. So that never happens. So it's really focused on just Obi-Wan protecting Luke on Tatooine, dealing with his trauma from Order 66,
right.
all that jazz. So those are your Star Wars scenarios. Which one would you rather became true?
See, I think with the Obi-Wan stuff, there was, like, rumors out there when it was originally going to be a movie and possibly a trilogy that, like, Commander Cody was going to be involved, Hunt and Obi-Wan. I don't really remember if Vader or anything was in that discussion for those original plans. But, like, I don't know, man, because I need more. I would need to know more about the Obi-Wan stuff for me to be like, that's the one. Like, like, and not saying this towards you, but just, like, if this were the plans that were presented to me, like, hey, it's just going to be on Tatooine, Qui-Gon's going to be teaching him, and there's going to be, some kind of villain out there trying to get Luke and he's got to protect them. I'd be like, oh, it might be cool, but, like, I need some more details before I could sign off on that. That makes sense.
Right.
The Mando thing's enticing because season 1 and especially season 2 were absolutely peak. Season 3 was like a gut punch, especially that Jack Black Lizzo episode I talked about before, how that was the episode that just, I got up from my chair
completely
that night
lost us. Yeah.
And just completely, like, I was actually angry after watching that episode. And yeah, like, I really wanted to see Grogu stay with Luke for a while, so him going back to Mando in Book of Boba Fett was lame as hell. And I was excited for Book of Boba Fett until we saw what it was, and the best episodes of Boba Fett were Mandalorian or Din Djarin-based episodes.
Yep.
So, I don't know. That's enticing, but then the sequel trilogy, man, like, that's where it all started for the Disney era of Star Wars. And I'm not one of these people who's like, no, Disney killed Star Wars, and I hate everything Disney Star Wars. I think if you've watched the podcast and know us enough, you know that's not the case.
Yeah, neither of us feel that way. Yeah.
No. But I think Star Wars belongs in the movie theater, and the movies are the most influential, and the sequels being what they were, and the backlash from them were the first domino to fall and cause, ripples in the fandom, and just that started the path to where Star Wars is now, is what I'm trying to say, which is, everyone's got their own opinions on it, but let's be honest, it's just not as hype as it was 10 years ago. We could all, I think, agree about that. If you disagree about that, I don't know what the hell you're watching. So, I gotta say the sequel trilogy one. I'm going option 1 because I need more detail with the Obi-Wan thing to sign off on that. As much as I love the prequels and Obi-Wan and Anakin, like, if you were to tell me Anakin's gonna be in it somehow, and Cody's gonna be in it somehow, and there's gonna be, like, I don't know. I would need more detail with that, and I know there's probably more detail out there on what it was originally supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But and the Mando thing, like I love Mando, and there's things that I would obviously change about season 3 because I wasn't a fan of season 3 pretty much at all. But the sequel thing is like the main thing, and especially if you were able to take that trilogy that George had and add in some of the actual sequel trilogy characters in ways, like if there's a reason for a Ben Solo to be in there and a dark side Rey that everybody wanted to see. Like, I don't know, there were some cool ideas in the sequel trilogy. The Stormtrooper becoming the Jedi that we never got. There's some cool ideas that I wish
I
they
was
could've...
also kind of juggling, like, should I make it so that you have to choose George's sequel trilogy, or should I make it so that the sequel trilogy that we got is just written well? Because that's also something that I would want to choose.
I probably would have took
we
either
love the
way,
characters
honestly,
that we got. Yeah. I don't know which I would prefer, though. Because if we got the characters that we got, but just written really, really well, I might actually prefer that story over George's sequel trilogy in a way. Because I don't know. There's
still little things that would need to happen in that trilogy, in that sequel trilogy, what am I trying to say? There's still like, if you were to rewrite them with the new characters, there's still things that would need to be changed. Like how, and listen, I'm beating a dead horse when I say this, but how we didn't get one scene with Luke, Han, and Leia all on the screen at the same time was ridiculous.
Need that. We need them to really lean into Finn becoming an actual Jedi.
Like there needs to be a lot of things.
Rey Palpatine. Rey stays a nobody. Those would be my demands if we're rewriting it. There needs to be a couple of things here that like we're definitely getting in a rewritten sequel trilogy with the same characters that we had gotten in the actual sequel trilogy for me to be like, that's the one. So again, I think I'll just go with the George trilogy. But honestly, like I said, either way, I probably would have chose that option. It's hard for me because I was like, I don't know which one I would choose, because it's hard for me to not pick the Mandalorian option, because I think one of the worst things ever was seeing the Mandalorian season 3 fail. Like that really physically hurt me.
It was hard.
And
it was hard.
Coming off of how peak season 1 and 2 were, to see just the absolute opposite happen in season 3. And I might be, I don't know, exaggerating how bad it is. There are some great moments in season 3 still, but it does not feel the same at all. Not at all. So, So part of me wants to choose option number 2, but I think Mando can easily recover from that, which as the sequel trilogy, it's basically like, even Star Wars hardly talks about it up until like recently. It was such a bad.
Yeah, I mean, like they barely talk about it in the stories themselves. Like we've all assumed for years, like, all right, this Mando era or whatever you want to call it, eventually is probably going to lead up to the sequel trilogy stuff, or at least there's going to be some tie-ins, and then there's going to be a little bit of a gap, because I think there's like a 30-year gap between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. Like it's something like that. Like there's a lot of time to fill, so it's not like they necessarily need to rush tying everything in with Mando and Ahsoka and all that stuff. I think everyone just assumed that eventually we'd get there. But if you could just take it back to the beginning for Disney Star Wars and just start with a completely new sequel trilogy and then go from there, I think we are in a better situation than we are now with Star Wars. So that would be my option that I'd choose,
Okay.
That's the one that is staying.
Okay. Let's go with the Marvel edition next. So I wrote 4 options because I'm pretty sure one of these isn't going to apply to you because I don't think you've seen it yet, but we'll see. So option number 1, Fat Thor is never written into existence. Never.
Already intriguing.
Already very intriguing, right? We both have issues with how they butchered Thor's character in Endgame. That's the one thing if I were to ever meet the Russo brothers, I'm joking mostly when I say this, I'd be like, why did you do that to Thor?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to him? That's terrible. But so Fat Thor is never written into existence. And instead, in the beginning of Endgame, when Thor is kind of just sitting by himself, really like mulling over, how he failed, that's the Thor that we stick with. He's a very cold version of himself.
Yeah, he's dark, depressed, end of Infinity War style. Oh, dude, if we could just ride that to the next movie, woo, fire.
Right. He stays just like that. And then when we get to, no funny one-liners, like completely flipped, because, we're still leaning into the trauma. Like that wasn't an issue with Fat Thor. It was the way they went about it. So we still want just no funniness from Thor. And then when we move over to Thor Love and Thunder, because now with serious Thor, then we get a more peak version of the big three in the final fight against Thanos instead of fat Thor rolling in there. Yeah. Thor Love and Thunder, when we get to that point, this isn't the second option. We're still in the first option. Okay. Then by the time we get to Thor Love and Thunder, the plot is centers around Thor's struggle with his identity. And I looked this up, and this was kind of what early scripts were focusing on instead.
I'm picking up what you wrote
down. And it focuses on his struggle with his identity. And Gore the God Butcher is actually a more prominent villain, which if you guys have seen Thor Love and Thunder, they barely use him at all in this movie, which was a very frustrating thing. You get Christian Bale to play this really, really cool villain, and then you barely use him at all. So more prominent figure for Gore. And then, he's seeking revenge for his daughter's death. Valkyrie, Korg, and Jane Foster are still appearing in this movie. Jane still becomes Mighty Thor without her dying in the end. I understand that that's something that happened in the comics, but I don't think that we need her to die, because part of me is like, well, I'd like Thor to eventually be able to have that as his ending of his story. I'd like it to include Jane Foster in the future. So
we talked about this all the time. Like, if somebody has to die for the point of getting a point across in a story, I'm like, well, couldn't we just tell the story differently so nobody had to die?
Right.
Or come back to life or anything like that?
Which isn't always the case. We understand that you can't just not have any death in any movies, because death makes things very realistic, obviously.
No, I'm just talking about people who die and then come back to life, like Sue Storm.
Yeah. But Jane Foster doesn't come back to life in Love and Thunder.
Well, see, I haven't seen Love and Thunder, so it made it seem like she comes back to life. That's
no, she dies. She just dies and stays dead, which doesn't matter. Noah probably wasn't going to watch Love and Thunder, guys. So it's okay. And so that's option number one, all right? We stay with peak Thor, basically. Option number two, this is where I don't think this is going to apply to you. We get Moon Knight season 2. I don't think
you could just move on.
Okay. For those listening, I will explain it still, just in case they are playing along with
you put that in here for yourself.
Yeah, I did, because I was like, that would be very enticing for me and for a lot of people. A lot of people feel this way. We get Moon Knight season 2. We pick up where we left off, with Mark and Steven coexisting without knowing that Jake Lockley, the third personality, is still serving as Khonshu's avatar. By the end of Moon Knight season 1, Mark and Steven think that Khonshu has released them from being his avatar. Little do they know, the third personality, Jake Lockley, is still happily working for Khonshu. We get to see Jake as Moon Knight dealing out a brutal form of justice to criminals like we got glimpses of in season 1. Like, the person that was bloodying up and killing people heartlessly in season 1 wasn't Mark or Steven, it was Jake Lockley the whole time. We didn't know that until the end credit scene. I just spoiled the whole season for Noah, but that's okay, he'll forget everything after tonight.
If I even watch it.
Right. There's no if about that. You're definitely watching that.
Dude, there's so much other things to watch, dude.
All right. Scenario 3. We get a different version of Multiverse of Madness. Have you also not seen this?
No, but I've seen plenty of clips and I've read about it, so I'm caught up.
Okay.
Enough.
We get a different version of Multiverse of Madness. In early scripts, this is what I'm going to lean into, early scripts, what he originally had planned. Wanda is working together with Doctor Strange and America Chavez to defeat Nightmare. Wanda is struggling throughout the film to fight the urge to follow her desire, to pursue her children by going into another universe. So it kind of follows that same thing where we leave off with her in WandaVision. But she's not the villain of the story. The villain is Nightmare, who is a villain from the comics. My only memory of, and knowledge of Nightmare as a villain is from Ultimate Spider-Man. You get a lot of cool villains in Ultimate Spider-Man, but Nightmare is a villain. When Doctor Strange, he's also in that episode, that's like a Doctor Strange villain. So it'd be really cool if we saw a Doctor Strange villain in this movie instead of it being Wanda that's the villain. Wanda doesn't die, and Strange becomes Sorcerer Supreme by the end of it after Wong's death, but Wong somehow comes back to life. Yeah. And then we got scenario number 4. Smart Hulk never happens. No Smart Hulk. Rage Hulk that we get in the first Avengers movie is what we stick with. There's never a Black Widow, sun's getting real low, cheat code to calming him down, no romance between them. We stick with Rage Hulk throughout. And those are your scenarios.
I don't mind the Black Widow, sun's getting real low thing. Obviously, we've talked about the romantic tease between them in Age of Ultron is stupid. But
I don't
like,
even like the sun's getting real low thing. Whether it's romantic or not, I don't like it because it's
sun's
like,
getting real
okay,
low, big
you
guy.
say that line and somehow the Hulk is just
I
if
hear you. I hear you.
back to Bruce Banner, that's stupid. I
That's
think
that part never bothered you, but the romantic, little stuff that they had in Age of Ultron was
nobody likes that.
pointless. No.
Awful.
And Rage Hulk is cool, man. I don't know. That's just what we're hoping is a return to form for Hulk when we get the brand new day next July.
Mm.
See, here's the thing. The last time we saw Thor, Love and Thunder, obviously, like we've already established, I haven't seen him. And then before that was Endgame. Which one is easier to redeem the next time we see them, whether it's obviously Hulk and Brand New Day or Thor when we get to Doomsday? I'm going to say Hulk because you just need like something to piss him off real good.
Yeah, I think Hulk is redeemable too. I think they can work their way back.
Yeah. I think they're both redeemable in general, but one I think is just easier than the other, and that's Hulk. So, in terms of this whole scenario thing, there's more work to be done with Thor. So, if we could just go back and make sure that we don't have to do all that work with Thor, I think it makes everyone's job a lot easier and the fan viewer experience a lot more enjoyable. So, yeah, I think I'd go back and get rid of Fat Thor and change Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Because it was one thing for what happened in Endgame, and then you had Love and Thunder, which I haven't even seen, but obviously I've heard it got tore apart by fans, and no one was a fan of it. So it's just like, so now you got that baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got to get this guy in Doomsday and hope to return all of it. And listen, everybody loves Thor, everybody loves Chris Hemsworth, but there's work to do there, man. So if you could just...
And it just sucks that, Endgame was such a monumental movie, and it was something that we had been building up and waiting on for years and years and years, and then we get to it, and Thor isn't peak Thor. We got peak Thor in Infinity War, yeah, but then they just absolutely use him as some comedic relief and butcher his character in Endgame, and it sucks. It honestly sucks. Like, when I saw the big three walking out there, which Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, I was like, yeah, but Thor doesn't even look like Thor, dude.
I know.
It's just not the same.
He's bloated.
Yeah, and I've seen this opinion before. Some people blame Thor Ragnarok for where the Russos took Thor in Endgame, but I absolutely do not agree with that at all. I don't think Thor Ragnarok was a problem as a movie. Thor Ragnarok is a great movie, and I honestly don't care that some people think it was too funny. It's not. At the time, it was the only amazing Thor movie that we had gotten, and it led into Infinity War Thor. Infinity War Thor is universally agreed upon to be the most peak version of Thor we have gotten, and we wouldn't have gotten that Thor without Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is only recently looked at as an issue because of how they took it too far with Thor Love and Thunder. And that is not a problem with the way that the fans received Thor Ragnarok. That's the problem with the way the creators ran with something and took it way too far as comedy and things like that.
I don't mind the comedy in Ragnarok because you also get badass Thor in Ragnarok.
And great development for his character, yes, yeah.
And then, like you said, it leads right into Infinity War, so I don't think Ragnarok's the problem at all. It's Endgame.
Ragnarok is not the problem. It was the way that Taika Waititi and whoever else was involved, it just took it way, way too far. You can't lean into it that hard, but Taika had to pick up on, and it's not just Taika's fault, it's also the Russo Brothers' fault. Taika picked up on where they left Fat Thor in Endgame, so they took it too far. And then Taika took it way, 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 way too far. So
I'm picking the Thor option.
I think I would pick the Thor option too. And you guys know how much I love Moon Knight, so I know that's like a crazy thing. And
Hulk's easily more redeemable.
Yes, Hulk is definitely more redeemable, and
in a faster sense is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, and I get that. And another thing about Thor is like Chris Hemsworth is a perfect casting for Thor, but just the way that they butchered his character, it kind of hurts his reputation as an actor for Thor. You know what I mean? Not that he's not still a perfect casting, but we still have yet to he has 4 movies and only one of them is looked at as really, really good. And it just kind of sucks. Even Chris Hemsworth has come out after Love and Thunder came out and was like, I feel bad for what we gave fans in that movie. So it kind of sucks that all these, Captain America, Iron Man got this legacy, amazing ending, arguably for Cap in Endgame. And Thor continues on with a very, very rough story, you know? So I would like to fix that for Chris Hemsworth
Listen,
and
he's
for
going to
Thor
be in
fans.
Doomsday. I'd assume he's going to be in Secret Wars. And then if he survives, there's room for a Thor 5, which, you know,
Please survive.
you get all that content, that there's
Don't
plenty of
kill him.
time to redeem the guy, so.
Yeah. Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder were the two experiences in the movie theater that I had. I think Multiverse of Madness came out first. That was the first time I went to see a Marvel movie in theaters and was like, wow, that was bad. And it was really disappointing. Yeah. And it hurts. It sucks when you love something so much. I love Marvel so much, to go and sit in that movie theater and be like, wow, that was me and Parker and a bunch of our friends from school went and watched it together. We like rented out 2 rows we brought so many people to see it, and it was bad. And I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was bad. And you know, everyone there also wanted to see it. You know, everyone was big on Marvel. There was no reason to believe they were going to produce a bad movie. And then it was like, oh crap, that's not good. They did. And then Thor Love and Thunder came out, and I was like, okay, we're not gonna have Fat Thor anymore. You know, we're gonna fix him up and stuff. And then it was so hard to watch. That at least Multiverse of Madness wasn't hard to watch. Thor Love and Thunder was very difficult to watch as a Thor fan.
Yeah.
It was bad, very, very bad. But yeah,
I'm sure I'll watch Multiverse of Madness in full eventually. Love and Thunder, I'm skipping right over. I don't care.
Yeah, don't watch that movie, dude. It's so bad. Yeah. So the last version of this is a wrestling edition. And I don't know if I did this very well. There's only 3 options.
Okay.
Bear with me. The first option, Finn Balor is treated as the star that he is and gets the push that he deserves. The demon shtick is never pushed to the side. He continues to run with that as his alter ego, and he goes on a monumental title run so that he can eventually have a case to be one of the greatest talents that has ever gone through WWE. That's scenario number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Scenario number 2, John Cena's heel turn actually produces a good story. He stays the heel, and his final rivalry moment to end his retirement run is a rivalry with Randy Orton, where Randy is the babyface and John Cena is the heel. And that, who wins is up to you. I don't really care who wins, but that is actually I think that would be a very compelling storyline. I don't think Randy has ever been the babyface in, you know, a John Cena feud. So I think that would be really, really cool. Or they could both be just like crazy heels. I think that'd be cool too. And then the third scenario is kind of silly. And it is the Shield never breaks up, but they do go on. They never ever. They don't like have a crazy breakup like they did. You know, they never feud with each other, but they have their singles matches still, and they still are able to dominate in their respective areas. And a big thing for me, they continue to make tag team matches the spectacle that they should be. Because in my opinion, tag team matches have not hit the way that they hit when it was the Shield and the Wyatt family fighting each other for tag team titles. That's just
like
my
2
opinion.
Matches. And the titles weren't even on the line.
But they were so good. But you can tell me, because obviously I've been out of touch ever since then. Has there been a tag team that has been as amazing and as compelling as the Shield or the Wyatt family? Like, listen, New Day has gone on a crazy run.
Well, I'm trying to go through
not necessarily.
Well,
I mean,
what am I talking? Listen, I know you might be like,
but
but like, dude, listen, when the Bloodline were hitting their stride a couple years ago, they were untouchable, dude. And it sucks because you can never have the Bloodline versus the Shield because Roman can't be fighting himself there. But I mean,
I think one thing that could be cool is, you know, if the Shield never officially breaks up, but Roman starts putting together the Bloodline too, not necessarily Roman fighting, but the Bloodline members could fight Dean and Seth when they're still tagged.
All right, we're getting super hypothetical here.
Right.
All right, so the Shield
never breaks. That's the name of this whole game. Come on.
So it's Finn Balor is, you know, basically his career turns out completely differently than it did the last 9 years.
Right.
Cena's heel turn is actually leads to something, and you're saying his last match is against Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. And then the third option is the Shield never breaks up. Maybe they do stuff solo, but they never break up.
Right. And Dean Ambrose never leaves WWE. That's obviously a main factor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, the only problem. Listen, the Shield breaking up is like one of the greatest moments in like Raw history.
I know, like it is still a
like
great
it's a huge moment. And the Shield, all of them have been on record saying they thought they had another year in them because they had always been bad guys up until post WrestleMania 30 in 2014. Mm-hmm. They had 2 months as baby faces. They fought Evolution, and then they pulled the plug on it. Granted, yes, they could have had a run as baby faces, but this is also 2014. It's not like they had some extensive, deep roster for them to be feuding with.
They had kind of done it all, and the story of it is like the only ones that could beat the Shield or defeat the Shield was themselves, and I do kind of like that.
And listen, they had literally beaten everybody in some way, shape, or form. They've beaten John Cena, they've beaten CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Batista, Triple H. They've literally beaten all the top names the WWE had to offer at that point. My only problem with the Shield breakup is, I mean, we'll be here for an hour talking about that.
Okay.
We're not even going to talk about that. But I don't know how we never got the Shield triple threat at WrestleMania, but we got it at the fucking Battleground pay-per-view in the middle of July.
Right.
Beats me. That was literally sold itself. But I'm not going to say the Shield thing. So we'll get that off the table. The Shield, I'm going to keep that in existence. Or wait a minute, what am I saying here? Doesn't matter. I'm not picking that option.
Not picking that.
Yeah. The John Cena thing, we talked about this last week. His heel turn just wasn't what it should have been. And at this point, like, I don't think the last year of his career was the time to finally do what people were clamoring for 10, 15 years ago. Like, it was shocking the night it happened. March 1st, Toronto, Elimination Chamber. It was a shocking night.
But in this hypothetical, it works. It actually works. Yeah.
But, like, listen, I've thought about this extensively. What could they have done to make it work? And ultimately, I look back at what he did during his heel run. It's like, well, he still wrestled Randy. He still wrestled Punk. He still ultimately had a run at the WWE title. He still had some fantastic promos. At the end of the day, he had to pull some stuff out of his ass to make it make sense because The Rock wasn't there anymore, but he still did his best. It wasn't what it should have been, but it wasn't like it was bad TV. Like, I'll never call it that. And ultimately, and we talked about this last week, who Cena's final opponent should have been. Randy Orton is one of the guys, but you're like dead set, like that should be the guy, or it should have been absolutely Orton versus Cena. I'm not.
Well, who else would you rather it be?
Well, we talked about this last week. There's two options. There's either the established guy or the future guy. Which is, so the established guy is whether it's an Orton,
against
Punk.
the passing the torch moment. I don't think you need to use every second of John Cena's retirement run to pass the torch to every freaking up and coming talent. I don't think
it hasn't been that though. So we can't say that it hasn't been that. This guy won the WWE title. In this hypothetical, then
hypothetical that I'm saying, it wouldn't
have been that either. My hypothetical would have been going back to, I don't care if he wins the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, he would have beat Gunther at WrestleMania for the world title, been a babyface this whole time, then held the title all year, beat everybody they lined up until his last match where somebody beats him, or his second to last match, and then the last match is just for like a hoorah, let's go kill it type of thing. But honestly, I'm going with the Finn Balor one because that's like the Shield thing is just, I don't know, that's whatever, we already talked about that. And the John Cena heel thing, like,
would you pick the John Cena thing if it was that he didn't turn heel, he stayed babyface Cena, but we actually made CM Punk a heel for when they were fighting each other as his last run? And it kind of felt like
because
that
here's
vibe.
The thing. CM Punk's in that role right now like Edge was a couple of years ago where they tried to turn him heel and people just don't want to boo him. Like, it's too hard. They've become like Star Wars legacy characters, some of these guys. Yeah. And that's kind of what happened with Cena too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're heel now? Cool. You're 15 years too late. We don't want to boo you this year. You're retiring at the end of the year. We just want to cheer you. CM Punk could get there eventually.
CM Punk being a heel against Cena, though.
I'm telling you,
know what I mean?
It still wouldn't have mattered. Like, both Punk and Cena, they fought, and they were both getting cheered. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, Edge did all he cut his hair, he took away the theme song, he did all he could to get booed a couple years ago, and he was still getting cheered. Or he just wasn't getting a reaction at all because people didn't want to boo him. Like, certain people, Orton's in the same category now. Orton's a little bit different because he was a heel so much of his career, and people are literally waiting for him to turn heel again, because they know he's not retiring anytime soon. This guy upped like a 5-year contract, so it's just like, dude, we don't gotta.
I didn't know
That was a
Yay!
while ago, but I'm saying I could be off with the number, but it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. This
Randy
guy's point
turning
is
heel again would feed families. I'm
like
sorry.
it's like he's a legacy guy. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know. It's different with Orton. I can't describe it. Punk though,
like it could work for him.
yeah, you could still get it. People are waiting for an Orton and Cody Rhodes feud, and they just haven't done it yet. People don't want to boo CM Punk right now. Nobody wanted to boo John Cena this year. The Finn Balor thing, though, that's what I'm picking because literally we're going on 10 years, actually over 11 years since Finn Balor debuted in NXT. Next year will be 10 years since he debuted on the main roster. Night 1, he beats Roman Reigns. A month later, he wins the Universal title, even though the title sucked.
That was stupid.
Unfortunately, gets injured, and then nothing ever happens for the rest of his career. It's like, nothing ever happens, but he's just not that guy that he should have been. Like everybody knows it. No matter what this guy's done over the years, good guy, bad guy, Judgment Day, no Judgment Day, no demon paint, like it doesn't matter.
I think the worst thing they could have done is like stopped running with the demon paint thing because it was a huge part of his character. I mean, without it, I was actually pretty pro putting it on the shelf for a little while because Vince had kind of beat it to death. It was like, hey, let's just do it every other time he has a big match. And it's like, no, it's not a big match thing. It's a special thing. Yeah. It's not, hey, he's wrestling Bobby Lashley. Let's bring out the fucking demon. It's different. So for that, I was like, let's put it on the shelf for a little while. And then the only time we've seen it in the last like 4 years, is against Edge in a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. And it's like, all right, that's where he should be the demon. Right.
But I don't know. There's a lot of rumors last year that this year was going to be some big comeback year for Finn. And guess what?
Here we are in November.
So
Finn's done little to nothing.
So yeah, I'll take the Finn Balor option, honestly. That's the easiest option.
I like that.
Sorry, that was a long-winded answer.
It's okay. And you know what? I think that that's all I had for that segment, but we filled out this episode pretty well. I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty well, dude. You know, I like talking about wrestling, so anytime I get the chance, I'll take it.
Hang on, let me see. Maybe we can throw in, because I did ask Discord for questions, so I don't want to just completely not answer any this week. Let's see. Well, really, the only new questions that have come in are for Noah.
Really?
And his wrestling stuff.
I
feel like we've kind of gone through a lot of wrestling stuff today. At this
Is there any
point.
like quick one? I'm looking, sorry.
Hang on. Gosh, no, nothing that I would be able to answer quickly. Like, I'd want to go into detail about a lot of this stuff.
Right.
Oh, hang on. This is from Trevor. It's a 2-part question. For Laney, if you could have one thing from Star Wars for the rest of your life, what would it be? For Noah, if you could have one thing from WWE for the rest of your life, what would it be? So I don't know if you mean like something physical, like something prop? Tangible, or like a form, like a show or a movie or something like that. I'm gonna guess you mean like a project from Star Wars. So wow, that is really hard for me. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know how to answer it. Yeah.
I think I would. Oh my god. Oh, this is so hard. I think I would go the Clone Wars. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because the Clone Wars has a little bit of everything that I need.
Oh, so we're just picking something that's already happened and like
you can only keep one thing. Like if they're getting rid
I can
of
only
Star
watch
Wars
this
entirely.
I can only watch this one thing for the rest of my life.
Right. And I don't really know how that would work with WWE, but maybe it's like
I would just take like WrestleMania 40 from last year.
Okay.
Which I attended in person, and I'll just never reach that high in my life again, probably. Because it was just a magical weekend.
What if there was like one wrestler that you could keep, like guy never gets hurt, never ages, he can stay and wrestle forever, past or present. You keep one guy working forever. Poor guy.
It's either Ray or John, dude. It's either Ray or John. But Rey Mysterio, he be getting like gel shots in his knee or something, so he's like, he'll be wrestling until he's 80 anyway, probably. John Cena's got 3 nights left, so I don't know, dude. Maybe John.
That's a good answer.
I don't want him to retire. Fuck.
Why me?
He just won the Intercontinental title on Raw, dude. It's sick.
You know, never.
Not how I would have wrote it, but I'll take it. This one's new.
What's his thing? Never give up.
Never seen 17?
Rise against hate. That's what it is.
Rise above hate, never give
Rise
up.
above hate, never give up. I'm so never back down, never give up. Like
Never back down, never what?
And I'm like, was John Cena the original never back down? Never
Was John Cena the original Nick A30?
He was, honestly. That's crazy.
That's funny.
That's a crazy comparison to make. But I think that's all we got for this week's episode. You know what? We filled out this episode a lot.
Not bad. Not bad. That's what happens when two big brains come together.
Right.
But where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere at Laney Byers. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. Shout out Twitch community, my stream community. I love you guys so much. You guys are always so supportive. You're always shooting us questions. You guys are amazing. Very, very excited for Gambit to enter Marvel Rivals this week, by the way. I won't go into detail about that, but I will be streaming the new update, and I will be maining and insta-locking Gambit to the end of time. There we go.
That is just fan-freaking-tastic. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Noah Nation Vlogs. And, of course, go follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Lightforce Podcast on YouTube. You can drop a subscribe, leave us a like. We're over on Apple and Spotify as well if you'd like to listen to the podcast. But I believe that is all we have this week. So episode 15 in the books. A little bit of a smorgasbord for you. Talked about nearly everything that we are fans of and not fans of in Avatar, Fire and Ash. But
oh, don't say that.
We need to watch it. We need to watch it. I'm sorry. We need to watch it. I swear we're going to watch it. Maybe. Promise. I don't know. Anyway. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next week.